Shut up. Please shut up, because the only thing that you wanted was this man to touch your hair because you're weird and you just have issues and you're cheap. So hi friends, how is everybody doing on this marvelous day? I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving. My members are probably like, girl, you already did this, but I'm kind of batch filming today, so I just wanted to get that out there, that I hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving, however that looked for you. If you guys spent it with friends and family, if you spent it alone, it doesn't matter. I hope you had a good time. I hope you guys are blessed. And when I say happy Thanksgiving, I mean like the food, turkey, fun family thing, not the actual like pilgrim holiday. We do not stand that. We support the indigenous people on this channel, so just wanted to clarify that. When I say happy Thanksgiving, I'm not talking about the actual Thanksgiving. No. Anyway, I just wanted to come on here because I wanted to share with you guys a story time that actually happened very close to this time of year, when I was first apprenticing at my first salon. So I was like, oh, this is perfect. This is a sign. I should tell you guys a story. This is probably like one of the most annoying story times that I have. And I mean, I feel like all my client story times are just people being really annoying. But this is like the really annoying ones where it's just like the cheap people that just don't take you seriously and just really just waste your time. That's really the best way I can describe it. So get whatever it is you need to get. I am energized. I am pumped. I am ready to talk. If you haven't noticed, I'm just today. So, and I swear to you, my makeup is blended. All right. I don't know what it is about this lighting. Natural lighting is just not working with me. I swear my contour is blended. It just looks really bad on camera. So I kind of stopped wearing makeup for like a while, and I feel like every time I put makeup back on, it's like getting progressively worse. So if it does look as bad as I feel like it does, let's just let's not judge. So anyway, we are going to do a client story time because this happened around this same time of year back when I was apprenticing. So I was like, why not? This makes a perfect remembrance of the annoying people that choose to be models for cheap purposes. So let's go ahead and get to it, shall we? So like I said, this was back when I was apprenticing. So at that time, my manager would always post like our like apprentice models needed deals on Facebook, which y'all know Facebook is just the wild, wild west. So you can only imagine the people that we would get. Now, the whole thing entailed, it was like free haircuts, free blow dries, and I think like it was $50 for one color. So you could do a partial highlight or you can do like one all over color. It could not be a double process. It could not be more than like a partial highlight. So sometimes what people would do they would ask for like a partial highlight, but really back in that time, like balayages were popping off. So it'd be like the top and the front with a balayage rather than the partial highlight. So this lady, we are going to call her Aubrey because she wanted to be like Aubrey O'Day. Like you could tell that was her vibe. Like that's what she wanted to look like so bad. So we're going to call her Aubrey. So basically, Aubrey messaged my manager saying that she wanted to do a partial highlight balayage thing. And she wanted to know off rip, okay? She was looking for models. And on the Facebook post, it said my name. And it said like Samantha, our apprentice, is looking for models. She messages our manager and she asked for, we're going to call his name Sean. Sean was one of the master stylists that had been at that location since it like opened, okay? So she, mind you, my name it says Samantha, our apprentice, is looking for models. When she messaged my manager, she asked if Sean was running the same special. Okay, right? Sean had been doing hair for years at this location. Why the hell would he need to be why would he be doing a $50 color special, right? So off of that, I was like, okay, when my manager told me that, because my manager did not know when to just keep things to herself. So she was like, yeah, she was asking if Sean if Sean was running this special. And I was like, no, it's Samantha, our apprentice. So she's coming in and you're going to do her hair. So when she told me that, I was like, here we go. Like, if you are blatantly reading an ad and you're trying to like pick and choose what you read on that ad, I was just annoyed. And y'all already know in my other client story times, I'm not here for the women like, and y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. It's those women that they just want a gay man to do their hair. It's like this weird thing. It's just weird. So I just, you know, the fetishizers and the weirdos, like, it's so, first of all, it's very offensive to the stylist that like you're trying to do like, I want a gay best friend thing. Like, that's very offensive to them. And then it's a very offensive to the person that's actually assigned to do your hair. But neither here nor there. She comes in and I was like, hi, Aubrey. My name is Samantha. I'll be doing your hair today, blah, blah, blah. And I go ahead and I sit her down on the chair. So I already have my preconceived notions about this lady, but I'm like, you know what? Let's give her a chance. She was very nice. Like, she was very cool, very easygoing at first. So when we're sitting down and I'm doing the consultation with her hair was already pretty blonde and it already had like light pieces. It was already very light, but she wanted like lighter pieces, like balayage throughout it. And she wanted like some baby lights in the front. Very much not what the ad was saying, but you know, I was trying to practice. I was trying to work with it. So I was getting paid by the hour anyway. So I really didn't care what I was doing with these people's hair. So basically, she was like telling me how she wants it to look very like PC, very blonde, and very ashy. And when she was showing me photos of what she wanted, she was showing me Sean's Instagram. And I'm just like, okay, like, I get it, like you like that look, but it's like, if you wanted that look, why don't you go to Sean, who actually did the look itself? Like, you're not asking me to do Kylie Jenner's hairstylist inspiration photo. Like, you can very well go to the person that you're showing me. You know what I mean? I was just like, oh, okay. So based off the whole Facebook conversation that she had with my manager, and based on the fact that she's only showing me photos that are from Sean's Instagram, I already knew I was in for something. Like, I already knew I was into something. So as I'm doing her hair, like, Sean's station was like diagonally across from me. So as I'm doing her consultation, she's basically like looking at him and looking at what he's doing. And he just so happened to had done a blonde formula on this one girl's hair that he was currently doing. So after the girl was done and he was like done with her hair, she was like, you see, I really like the way that blonde came out. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah, definitely. Like, I can ask him what the toner formula he used. That was my biggest mistake. I should have never even referenced that man. I should have never even said anything about that man. Because I said it in like a, oh yeah, like, because your hair is very similar. It's just a toner. So like, yeah, I can definitely ask him what toner formula he used so I can put it on your hair. So I go ahead and I do her, like, I did the foils or whatever. And while I was apprenticing, every time I did something, it wasn't like every time I did something, but I had to kind of like check in with different stylists. And now he was not the stylist that I was apprenticing under that day. I was going off of another lady. So I was going to her and I was showing her like what I was doing. She was telling me, okay, yeah, if you want to go for that look, you need to do this. You need to put baby lights here, blah, blah, blah. So I was checking in with her. So as I'm doing like a check-in, when I finished one of the check-ins after I did the foils on her, she was like, oh, how come like Sean doesn't check out what you're doing? And I was like, oh, because Sean is more so like, he's kind of like his own thing. He doesn't really do like apprenticeship. Like, he doesn't have apprentices under him like that. And so she was like, oh, okay, gotcha. And so then like it was really weird too, because Sean was definitely like a loud personality. So like he was talking to his clients and he basically would like talk to the salon. And anytime he would do something, like it would be something like haha, but she'd be like and it's not giving that, man. Like, it was weird. She was just such a weirdo. And so I was just picking up when she was like processing and stuff. When he would like make little smart comments, she would just overly laugh and overtly like try to get his attention. It was so weird. So when it was time for me to go ahead and shampoo her, I had to go do something. I think I had I don't know what it was. I couldn't shampoo her. That was like the thing though. I was not able to shampoo her. I needed to do something else. I don't know if I had another client. I don't think I had another client, but neither here nor there. I wasn't able to shampoo her. So my manager asked Sean to shampoo her for me. Biggest mistake ever. No, okay, I was running behind. That's why I was running behind. So what I was gonna do is I was gonna mix the formula so that way, like, she would already be shampooed, so I can kind of speed up the process. So Sean was available, and so my manager asked him if he could shampoo her while I mixed the formula toner, because I was working with the other lady. So he had given me the formula that he used that she had liked on the other client, but I was working with the other stylist to mix it up, and she was telling me like different techniques and stuff. So I went ahead and I got that mixed up, and he was shampooing her hair. And of course, that's literally what she wanted. She wanted to have him do her hair so bad, okay? So while he was shampooing her hair, she's like saying stuff to him. She's like, yeah, I've been wanting to come to you for such a long time. Like, you're always booked. And like, okay, let's relax a little bit, because Sean was booked, but he wasn't like booked out. If you wanted an appointment with him, you could have gotten an appointment with him, but you know, she's trying to make it seem like she can never get an appointment with him, and she's really always wanted she's always wanted him to do her hair and yada yada yada. But like I said, like the man was not that booked out. Like, if you wanted an appointment with him that week, you could have got one. So she's over here talking like that, and then she's like, yeah, because I really like your work. I follow you on Instagram. I remember that. I cringed when she said, she's like, I follow you on Instagram. And he's like, oh, thank you, whatever. He did not care. He was not checking for this lady, because once again, if you wanted him to do your hair, you would have done it. So he finished shampooing her hair, and I'm putting on the toner, and I'm working with the other stylist. So when I'm putting on the toner, she's showing me to like do it, and she said, leave it on until it turns purple. You're gonna get freaked out because it's gonna turn really dark purple, but that's what you want it to do, so you want to wait. So as I'm putting on the toner, I'm doing that, and I'm like talking to her. I'm like, yeah, we're just gonna wait here a little bit while I go ahead and do that. And she's asking me, she's like, oh, I was talking with Sean a little bit, and he was telling me like all the different techniques that he uses, and she just keeps bringing up this man. And I'm just like, girl, I really don't care. Like, first of all, I'm not apprenticing under him. Like, I'm shadowing this lady. So anything that you need, you should really be asking me why, like, with that lady. And then she just kept saying like all this stuff about like, yeah, I'm just really, really concerned because like sometimes I'm like really particular about my hair, and this is the first time that I've like let somebody do something like this and blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, girl, you realize I saw your hair before, right? Like, not for nothing, it wasn't done nicely. Like, yeah, you were light and your hair was blonde, but it wasn't done well. I don't know who did her hair before, but it was like she was trying to make it seem like she's just so picky and she's so particular about your hair. Meanwhile, your hair did not look all that great to start with. And then second of all, if I'm so particular and I'm so this and I'm so that, I'm not gonna go be a model for an apprentice at a cheap price. But that's what these people like to do. Like that, oh my God, I cannot. I'm sorry. I hate people like this. Like, stop. Don't sit here and act like you're somebody when you don't even got it like that. So please. So she's just saying all that stuff, and I'm getting annoyed, obviously, because I'm like, whatever. But while I'm doing the toner, it's turning really dark purple, like the lady told me that it was going to. And I get freaked out with toners because, like, I know now that you really need it to get really dark for it to give you that desired look. But I started getting freaked out. So I call her over, and I'm like, hey, like, is that okay? And so then she asked the girl, the stylist that was helping me goes and asks the girl, she was like, you want it really ashy, right? Like really, really ashy, almost gray. And the girl is saying, yeah, like I want it really, really ashy so that way when it like fades out, it'll be like a lighter blonde. And I'm like, okay, cool. So then the stylist told me, leave it like on for 2 more minutes. It's probably gonna look like it's gonna have a tint of purple, but when she washes it out, she'll be okay. The girl heard her say that. Like, this was not a secret. I was not hiding anything. The girl heard her say that her hair was going to be a tint of purple, but as she washes her hair, it'll be that desired look that she wanted. She just needs to, you know, overtone it for a second, which I mean, I kind of get it from like a client standpoint. Like I don't want my hair purple. I want it the desired look as I leave the salon. You know what I mean? But she heard her say that and she was perfectly fine with it. She didn't say a word. Everything was cool. Everything was peachy. Okay? Cool. Fast forward, I shampoo her hair, and then that was another thing too. I'm a very light-handed. Like I don't do like too much when I shampoo people's hair. And I'm like relaxing with it. I'm like soft-handed. I'm not like, ah. And I mean, some people like that. Whatever. That's your preference. Who really cares? That's not really my problem, to be honest. Like, I think it's nice if, you know, I give you a nice shampoo experience. But at the end of the day, like, the part of the shampoo is to take it out of the hair. Like, I don't really care. And especially with you, like, you're already giving me vibes. And the stuff that she was saying, like, whatever. So while I was shampooing her hair, she was like, oh my God, you could really tell the difference between when a man shampoos your hair and a girl does it. And I'm just like, here we go. Like, here we go with the whole like, oh, it's just so like, because men are so heavy-handed. Like, it was so annoying. And then that was the thing too, where it bothered me because like this man literally gets water all over your face, water all over your clothes. He puts shampoo like to your eyebrows. Like he was a very messy shampooer. So it's like, you don't care that I'm being cautious about your makeup. I'm being cautious not to get it on your clothes. I'm not getting water all over your face, but because I'm not roughhousing you, and really because I'm not a man, you want somebody else to do it. Like it doesn't feel as good for you. Like, okay, whatever. Like, so you want a heavy-handed shower is what you're asking for. And this is like no shade or hate to Sean, but it's just like annoying, you know what I mean? She just kept making references to how his shampoo just, it's so different and she could feel the difference between the two and yada yada yada. I could have cared less about it. I was just ignoring her to that point because like, girl, bye, whatever. So while I'm going ahead, I'm detangling her hair. She's looking at herself in the mirror, okay? Like I was not hiding anything. She was looking at herself. So as I'm like detangling her hair and I'm sectioning it to go ahead and blow dry it, I'm asking her like, oh, like how do you want your style to look? And she was telling me that she wanted her hair curled, yada, yada, yada. Okay, cool. So I start blow drying her hair. I'm starting to style it and everything like that. And in the middle of me like blow drying, she was mentioning how this was like a gift. Her husband gave her this gift card to the salon and that's how she knows she's paying for it because she should treat herself. So now it's going to this whole thing about how she's treating herself and that her husband gave her this gift card. So I'm like, okay, like, you see what I'm talking about? You see how it went from you're so particular and you don't let anybody mess with your hair, but you got an apprentice as a discounted price, and on top of that, you're paying with a gift card. Like, what is going on? But anyway, the whole reason why I'm being like snobby like that is because you'll see in a second. So I'm just like, oh yeah, that's so nice. Like, it's good to treat yourself. You know, I'm just making small talk, conversation or whatever. And I get to the final part, like it's literally, oh my God, I remember this day so perfectly. So I had her turned like a little bit away from the mirror. So instead of it being like face on, she was turned to the right because of the cords. So I'm curling her hair. I'm talking to one of the receptionists and then Sean is like on the end. And so I'm just like talking to her. I'm talking to the receptionist. We're all talking about like the holidays and stuff. And I'm like talking with the receptionist. The receptionist is like, wow, this came out really pretty. Like this is going to look so good over like this is going to last a long time. Da, da, da. Like she's talking up my work, right? Because it still looks good. And so I'm just like, yeah, I'm really excited for it, whatever. I'm finished curling her hair. Like, y'all, when I tell you, I remember this like it was yesterday. I finished curling her hair and I go with the comb and I'm like combing it out. And then I'm like fixing it around her face. I'm putting it to the front. It looks so pretty, y'all. It looked so good. And when I tell you, it just had the slightest tint of purple. I'm going to show you guys a picture of like this is not her, but like I'm gonna show you guys an example of what I'm talking about, where it had like the slightest tint of purple, but like it wasn't like bad. I don't know how to explain it, but whatever. Maybe, but you know what? Because it had the slightest tint of purple, but it didn't look bad. But even if it did look like really, really purple, she knew what she was getting herself into. Like, it was explained to her, it was told to her that her hair was gonna have a tint of purple to it, okay? So I did her hair. I had her looking so cute, so good. I turned her, and like I didn't even think twice about it. I'm still talking with the receptionist as I'm turning her, because the receptionist is like, wow, it looks so good. And I'm like, yeah, I can't wait for you to see it. So I turn her, and she's looking at herself, and she busted out crying. And I'm not talking about like, it wasn't like, it was like, y'all already know how I feel about it. Like, I'm always making people cry. For whatever reason, I always make people cry. So she busted out crying. And I'm just like, what happened? This girl is gonna holler out, my hair is blue. This is not what I meant. This is not what I meant when I said I wanted it ashy. This is, oh my God. Like, did you even hear what I said? I can't even believe, like, you made my hair blue, y'all. Your hair had a tint of purple. I'll give you that. Blue? No. No. It is not blue. So I'm like looking at the receptionist. The receptionist is looking at me, and the receptionist even said it to her. She was like, your hair's not blue. And she was like, it's not what I wanted for sure. This is for sure not what I wanted. And then she proceeds to turn to Sean, because we were like the last people there. There was like one client left, but Sean was just hanging out in the back. She proceeded to turn the chair to Sean, and she was like, would you have done it like this? Would you have done this like this? As soon as she said that, I was like, girl, you aren't going to be happy with what I did to you anyway. Because when I tell y'all, it was not bad even a little bit. It had the slightest tint of purple, and she's hollering out saying that it was blue. And then so convenient that you turn to Sean and want to talk about some, would you have done it like this? While she's still crying, like she's still bawling her eyes out. So Sean comes up, and he was like, oh, what's going on? Because, you know, he's the assistant manager, so he like kind of has to take responsibility for it. So he's like, what's going on? So he's like grabbing her hair. She's like, it's just, they say it's purple, I'm saying it's blue. Like, I see blue, but like I showed her a picture of like one of the things that you had on your Instagram, and like that's what I wanted. And she said that, you know, she asked you for the formula, but like I don't think she did it the way you did it on other people, because it doesn't come out like your pictures. This looks nothing like your pictures. Why are you referencing my work to his pictures? Like, what are you talking about, girl? So he's like, well, you know, it's still like you wanted like a very ashy blonde, right? Like it's gonna wash out to ashy in like the same placement, because, you know, she's only supposed to do a partial placement on there. Like the rest of your hair is, you know, it's basically like the front and the sides is what, you know, you can go off of, but like the toner is gonna fade out and it's gonna look really good. And he keeps like brushing her hair, and he was like, no, it's like gonna look good. Like maybe you might have wanted it a little bit piecier. Soon as he said maybe you may have wanted it a little bit piecier, she's like, that's it. That maybe I just didn't say it right. Like, this is nothing against you. Like, maybe I just didn't say it right. But like that was literally you took the words out of my head. Like, yeah, I wanted it piecier. Like, that's what I wanted. Girl, he could have said you wanted shit on your head and you would have agreed, but whatever. And that was the thing. Like, Sean would always say that. He was like, women are weird. I could literally do anything and they're gonna say that it looks good. He would always say that. And it's true, because like he just hollered out, oh, maybe you wanted it piecier. And then she took that one statement and she ran with it. It's like, okay, well, you know, you can always come back and she can fix it. Like, if you have the time tomorrow. Oh, because that was the thing too. She was like, this was a gift. Like, this was a gift, and I can't believe like I had to pay for something that I'm just like not happy with. Like, I'm just not happy with this this at all. And so he was like, don't worry about it. Like, if you want, you can come back in like tomorrow if you have time, and Samantha can fix it. And she was like, is there any way that you could fix this? Like, I can't even think. Like, I'm so upset right now. And she's like really bawling her eyes out. It's like, I can't even believe this right now. Like, I didn't expect my hair to look like this. And like, no offense to you. She kept saying that. She's like, and no offense to you, but like, I just think it's best because like this was a gift, and I just don't want to spend money, like any more money on something that like I'm just not going to be happy with. Is there any way that you could be the one to fix it? And oh my god, so the receptionist kind of like pissed me off with this one. She, for whatever reason, she decided to call our manager, like the one that like actually makes the Facebook post. So she calls the manager, and she told the manager like what was going on. And my manager was all about like the customer was always right. My manager was not conversational at all, even a little bit. So because the lady, like the receptionist told my manager that she was requesting for Sean to do it, she actually like obliged, and she told us to tell her that like Sean would do her hair, and then we'll schedule her under Sean the next day, so that way like she would be happy with it. So then the next day she comes back. It was bright and early in the morning, and Sean even said it in the morning because he like scheduled her like right at the beginning of the day. He was like, I'm not doing anything, I'm just gonna put 2 highlights in her hair and then tell her like that's as good as it's gonna get. Like, she didn't pay for me to do her hair, so I don't understand why, you know, whatever. And so everybody was like trying to make me feel better. They're like, oh, it's like people like that they just want a free service, they just want this, they just want that. But it was just like nobody understood how annoying it was. Like, I wasn't sad, I wasn't heartbroken, my feelings weren't hurt. It's just annoying that like people like that get away with stuff like that because y'all let them. Because no, Sean should have never touched her hair. Sean should have never fixed it. So of course she comes in, he puts in 3 little highlights. I'm not joking. It was like one right here, one right here, one right here. He just sliced the hair or whatever. And then she like, when he finished it, he didn't even style it. Oh my god, this is what I'm talking about. So he just blow dried the front pieces where he added the highlights, and it was like a rough blow dry. And he was like, oh, does this feel better now? And she's gonna sit there in the mirror like, oh my, yeah, this was what I was looking for. And I'm like, girl, bye, shut up, please shut up, because the only thing that you wanted was this man to touch your hair because you're weird and you just have issues and you're cheap. So yeah, she ended up getting her fixed. She got her salon fixed. She wanted his hair to, and that's the craziest part. You want to do all this stuff, right? And she was saying like the manager had called her to make sure like everything was okay. And she was saying how like, oh yeah, but it was just because she felt so emotional because it was the one time her husband was going to pay for her to get her hair done. It's like, girl, your husband doesn't really love you that much if he's only going to give you $50. A $50 gift card to get your hair done. Like, shut up. Oh my god. And like she made it such a big deal, like the cost, like the money. And it's like, okay, I get it, like, you know, $50 is a lot of money, and whether, you know, money is money, whether it's a lot, little, okay, cool. If you paid for a service, you should get the service. But what you're not gonna do is you're not gonna ask for like Ferrari type services and you only want to pay Honda prices. Like, that's not. But that's what you deal with. That's what you deal with when you ask for models and you ask for them on Facebook. And my hair is looking crazy. So on that note, I need to wrap this video up because my hair is telling me time is up. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.